And welcome back to the show. The breakup of the 25-year marriage of Arnold Schwarzenegger and Maria Shriver, and the reality that infidelity and a love child were involved gives us a backdrop to talk about forgiveness.
Yes.
We were talking about the whole John Edwards and his situation, and we had to go to a break, but you were continuing your conversation. You wanted to say what about that whole situation?
Yeah. You know, John Edwards, and whether rich or poor, men have to understand, I got to be faithful. Even when Clinton, with his Clinton sex, that was wrong. But because he thought he was in power, he could do whatever he wanted to do. And again, men have to understand, you know what? I made a vow to this woman, and all of my sexual desires I must bring to her. Because it happened with sexuality, then Arnold should say, you know what, Mary? I'm really feeling happy today. Call her instead of calling that housekeeper. That's what he should have done.
We know it takes two to tango.
It does.
We want to blame the men all the time. The men should do this, the men should do that.
It takes two.
What about the women?
The women have to keep it hot and spicy. She has to change the wig. She got to get high heels.
I mean the men.
I talk about you sweat.
I talk about the mistresses.
Yes. But even with the mistresses, a man must say, if a woman's coming to me and she knows I'm married,
right,
what character does that woman have? She knows I'm married. She knows I'm with my wife.
Right.
She knows I have kids. And a man has to play a mind game. Right. I'm not going to let you in because that says how bad you are.
Well, how about this, though? If the mistress comes in,
yep,
he's not thinking about her character.
I know he's not.
Right?
He's thinking about legs. He's thinking about breasts.
Right.
He's thinking about thighs.
So he's not thinking, because most times the guy's not trying to leave his wife.
Exactly.
He's just trying to get something else.
That's correct. But again, that's why a man must, when he walks outside that house, he must say, you know what, is everything right in my house? Because that's when things are not right, that's when it'll hit you. If your needs are not being met emotionally, physically, and most importantly, sexually, then I'm not leaving this house until I feel better. Both couples.
We're seeing a lot of high-profile, long-term marriages go on the outs. Al Gore, Alan Tipper Gore. Surprised a lot of folks there.
Big time. Big time.
The big kiss at the platform under the election.
I think what's happening is that when the kids get grown, the mother and father say, you know what? I stayed for the kids' sake. Now they're gone. I can do what I want to do. And that's what happens. Couples put so much energy into their children. They never put energy into themselves, and that's the key.
And their careers, right?
And their careers, the bow, the karate. No, you have to take time for you and your spouse. Before the kids, before the money, for everything else, it was you and I. And couples forget that. So whatever it took, like, for example, you had great sex, amen, in the car, then now you have a nice house. I want you to have sex now in the garage with the car.
Keep it flowing.
Keep it flowing. Whatever you did, if you had sex like rabbits when you first got together, don't agree with it, premarital sex, but now that you're married, don't stop the rabbit, still having rabbits.
So the advice you to give now to Prince William and Katie,
oh,
right? They're seeing all these high-profile situations.
Good point.
They're under the microscope.
Yes.
Everyone's watching them, young couple.
Yes.
If they came to you and said, Pastor,
I'd be blessed. But anyway.
You get a check for sure. Right?
I would say to them, make sure you make each other priority number one. Not the subjects of Britain, not America, not trying to be like your mother. Make each other a priority, because when you don't make each other a priority, somebody else will come in.
But there'll be great pressure to have a baby. We know that, right?
It will.
What do you do about that when the world is saying they're going to basically compel them to have a baby, right?
Good question. You should not have children. This is a very good question, Stan. You should not have children until you guys are both strong, because the children will bring other issues in, and so many couples have been hijacked by the 5-year-old or the 2-year-old sleeping in the same bed that they conceive the child. You can't do that. You have to make sure you are strong first, you love each other first, and then here come the children.
I want to go back to forgiveness for a second.
All right.
Is there any way, shape, or form that Maria and Arnold can forgive and reconcile, or can they simply forgive and move on? Let's talk about the importance of forgiveness. I
think right now it's probably going to be forgive and move on, because I think the damage, this was not a one-time thing, sir.
What does forgiveness mean?
Forgiveness means is that I throw it away. I'm not
condoning it.
They're not mainframing it on a regular basis. Couples that say, you know what, I forgive, I throw it away. I flush regularly. When couples don't flush regularly, it builds up. Next thing you know, it's overcome you. That's what most couples do.
Let's go through your tips on how to forgive.
Yes, sir.
The importance of forgiveness. And you start off with when you always talk about flushing first.
You got to flush.
But people are saying meaning flush, purging out.
You have to purge out the negative. If you think negative about your spouse on a regular basis, why are you so surprised when you see them, you treat them negatively? Absolutely.
But it's important to forgive because, number one, you're saying that it begins the healing process, right? You really can't heal.
You have to have a goal. When your spouse hurts you, have a goal. My goal is I'm going to get through this. If your goal is I'm going to get it back, if the goal is I can't stand them, that's what you're going to go to. But if you have a goal of forgiveness, then you'll go to that point.
But now you're saying only God can really give forgiveness. Because a lot of folks say, you know what, I got this. I want to just isolate. Talk about that.
It takes divine, even with the Son of God, Christ, the Lord, how he came and gave us a second chance. We only learn that from God. We can't do it on our own because
you can't go on a trip for a weekend, just get away, have a few drinks. It's over with.
It's not going to, because you know what? That forgiveness is really saying no to you. Because you want to get back. You want to be vengeful. Your mind is saying, I want to get back, but no, I can't stay where I'm at. Because if I stay where I'm at, I will die.
All right, so 30 seconds.
Yes, sir.
The guilt and pain. You're saying part of the importance of forgiveness, dealing with the guilt.
Big time.
Right? And let's talk about guilt first and then blame.
Okay, the guilt is, what did I do wrong, or why am I staying in this relationship even though he's done me wrong? The blame is, let me blame her, let me blame him for what they did not do. Both points must be dissolved for them to move on.
And you'll say now for the kids that the healing can't really be comprehensive if the kids aren't involved. That healing is important for the kids to...
I don't care about what you do for the kids, per se. The kids can only see what the parents do. Mm-hmm. If the parents are not forgiving, the kids are not forgiving. And I tell parents all the time, how do you expect your child to be great when you don't act great when it comes to forgiveness, loving, and taking time to have patience with one another?
All right, Restoration Springs.
Yes, sir.
In Waterbury, right? The website is?
www.rest.org.
All right. So far, so
you ain't
good.
Sweat
I didn't sweat. You see what I prepared for you? Got the towel ready.
Okay.
I'm never sweating again.
Okay.
I'll have you back, though. Our relationship guru, Pastor T.C. Bradley. When we come back, folks, our sports maven, Scott Gray from WTIC AM. Is it time to break up the Boston Celtics? That's right, I said it. Remember, we're online 24/7 at ctnow.com/Stan. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. Don't go away.